Hello, my little rainclouds. I thought I'd try something a little different this time, and that I'd make a little recording of me colouring in and just chatting with you. This is a slightly different audio setup, so please be understanding of any audio differences that might be here. So, I'm going to colour in something to help my mum. My mum is a scripture teacher, and she needs some help colouring in all of the pictures and activities and stuff that she has to teach the kids. I'm not religious, but my mum is. But I don't mind helping out with this kind of thing, and I figured that colouring in might be kind of fun. I haven't really done any colouring in a long time, so this might be kind of nice. I've got a bunch of really old, fairly crappy coloured pencils that I figured I'd use. I just sharpened all of them. Sharpened is a generous word. They're less blunt, I guess. They're not all like fantastic colour choices, so I guess we'll just kind of wing it and maybe make some interesting decisions about colours for things. But okay, let's see. The picture that I'm colouring in is like a Middle Eastern family, I'm guessing, maybe in like Jerusalem or something, and they're like sitting down to eat at this little like raised slab of a table, I guess, and they've got a bunch of food and stuff. Everyone's wearing robes. The women have like headscarves on. You know, it's like a fairly poor-looking family, I guess. It's like a simple sort of brick hut, and yeah, I don't know. I guess where shall we start? Maybe we'll start with the people. And you know what? Let's get some browns, because too often you see a lot of biblical stuff and everybody's just white, and that's weird, right? Because they're not white. Let's go with some browns, some sort of, I don't know. This looks like a nice gentle kind of brown, and there's an old bald dude with a long beard. He looks like a kind of Moses looking guy. Very technical. Obviously, I am a scholar of ye olde religion. And let's just give him a nice, gentle brown coloring on his skin. That's good. I'll take a picture of this when I'm done, and I'll upload it so you can see. That's good. I'm doing it pretty light, which I guess is not really ideal if a bunch of kids are meant to like see this from a distance, but whatever. We can go over it later on and make it a little darker, perhaps. Colouring in his head and his neck. He looks like a friendly old dude. Kind of looks a little bit like Sir Anthony Hopkins, maybe, if he had a long beard like he does when he plays Odin, I guess. It's like Sir Anthony Hopkins playing Obi-Wan Kenobi. Old Obi-Wan Kenobi, obviously, not Ewan McGregor, but Sir Alekinus, who I like. I think he's a great actor. Was a great actor. He is unfortunately deceased now. He is one with the Force. Okay, I've coloured in his hands and his head and his neck, and I guess we could do like a grey. I don't actually have like a grey here, because I guess I put all the grey pencils back in the box, because I was like, I'm not going to use a lead pencil, but actually maybe I should. Because I feel like just leaving his beard white is a little bit lazy, but I also don't want to use like a black pencil. I guess I could use a black pencil and just do it lightly, but you know what? let's get a lead pencil. You'll do. Not the sharpest one, but that's okay. Maybe we can use that to our advantage and give it like kind of a woolly texture or something. I don't know anything about art. I'm not great with drawing and coloring in and everything. And I don't say that to be self-deprecating, because I don't consider that to be a particularly bad thing. It's just not really a passion of mine. It's not really something that I'm into. But I am friends with a great many visual artists, and I appreciate visual artistry. It's just not really my thing. I'm not a terribly visual person. Audio is more my medium, I think, or writing, actually, just words. I think in general, that's kind of my jam. So I'm not really very good with spatial thinking, with drawing things, visual art, that kind of thing. All right, we've colored in his beard. It's a little darker than I had intended. Actually, I have a white pencil here, which I was looking at it and I was like, what's the point, because I'm coloring on white paper? But my artist friends informed me that it is about blending, which is an advanced technique that I do not know how to do, and I'm not going to bother to do, because this is not a terribly important picture. And I don't have nice pencils that are good for blending. But my very fancy art friends tell me that that is a big thing. I can't see any difference that this white pencil is making, so yeah, no, it's not doing anything. Okay, never mind. What color should his robes be? I'm thinking blue. That might make him look a little bit too much like a wizard, but you know what? It's a risk I'm willing to take. Wizards are great. That blue looks a bit dark, but you know what? Maybe a dark blue is not a bad thing. It's not too bad. It's like an ocean kind of blue, but we'll take a light approach to it. We'll just kind of fill it in nicely, and yeah, that looks nice. Maybe you would enjoy doing some coloring in too, though it is absolutely okay if you don't want to. But apparently, coloring in is becoming a very popular pastime for adults because it's very relaxing. I've never really been that much of a colorer inner, but I can kind of see the appeal, particularly if it's not like for an assignment or something, and you can just kind of go nuts and do whatever you want and, use some interesting color choices that don't necessarily reflect reality. So I could see that being enjoyable, but you can do whatever you like, including just listening while the magic happens. Kind of makes me think of like Bob Ross. I like Bob Ross. I didn't grow up watching him, unfortunately. We didn't have Bob Ross here, but he's a really cool guy. He does some really wonderful painting, and you can watch him on YouTube and Twitch and stuff. Sadly, also deceased, joining Sir Alec Guinness in that great big hole up in the sky. But it's it's very soothing watching Bob Ross paint and just enjoying that process, seeing his view of the world, his philosophy. He's very laid back, everything's okay, just happy little trees, happy little accidents, do whatever you want. Nice and relaxing. I like that kind of attitude, so I'm going to try and adopt that here. Although, I am noticing some tension in my lower back, so let's adjust the posture. That's a bit better. And we've coloured the old man, because he's behind the table, so you can only see half of him. So really, he's just half of a man. But that's just less work for us. Okay, he's got a nice blue robe. It's a little bit light. I could probably do with like going over it again, actually. Maybe. But I don't know. I'm not putting a lot of effort into this because I don't really care that much. And it's just for some, like, I don't know, 8-year-old kids to look at once in a lesson that they also probably don't really care about. But it helps Mum, and that's a nice thing to do. I don't tend to really like coloring with pencils. I don't really enjoy the smell, that wood kind of smell of pencils. Particularly these are like pretty crappy pencils, but I don't imagine that some people would really like that smell. But yeah, I don't really like the feel of it either. It kind of feels dirty to me. So I'm going to wash my hands very well once I'm done with this. But it's kind of nice to get dirty once in a while. What should we draw now? I see that there's like a little urn kind of thing, like a little water jug. And I'm kind of feeling like that would be nice to color in gold. Although this family seems pretty poor, so they probably wouldn't really have a golden cup thing. Got this kind of like creamy looking yellowish white. Would that look good? I can't really see what that looks like. Yeah, no, that doesn't really stand out at all. Let's do a different color. Do like maybe like a reddish brown, right? It could be like clay. Maybe we'll do a clay kind of thing. How's that red? It's kind of a reddish brown. Sure. Nope, that's more like a pink actually. Okay, not that one. Let's put that one aside. We don't need that one. What's good? What's good? That's kind of pink. Let's... That's like a brown. Oh, it's quite a reddish brown though. Doesn't really go with the pink that we've already done though. Kind of wish I had an eraser, but at the same time, I don't think that it would look that great. I think it would just kind of end up being a mess. And, you know, I guess philosophically speaking, it's kind of good not to erase and just go with it. Just embrace your choices. Embrace life's mistakes, right? Happy little accidents. That's a bit better, I think. It's still pretty pink, actually. That one's pretty pink too. But is pink really the worst? No, it is not. But equally, I don't really like the way that it looks. That's a very red looking red. See, I stumbled upon some of these colors and I was like, they don't look that great. But equally, I'm not a very good judge of colors, and many of these colors seem quite confusing, I guess, misleading. Because you look at them and you're like, oh, that's a nice brown. And then it turns out to be kind of red or kind of pink or whatever. This jar is just like a mess of different pinks and reds and browns. But you know what? I guess that's what clay is, right? Maybe we'll just mix in a bunch of different colors. And we'll just kind of make it look weird. We'll make it look like a nice reddish, brownish, pinkish clay jug thing. I don't know what the term is for it, but it's like a water conveyance, if you like, a container that water is in. That doesn't look too bad, right? I mean, yeah, it does. It actually looks terrible. It kind of looks like someone made it out of bubblegum. Let's get a darker brown, shall we? Let's do it. Let's get a nice dark brown. Okay. Can't really see a difference in what I'm doing, but I'll give it a once over with this brown. And again, it doesn't really matter because it's like a bunch of 8-year-olds and they don't have a whole lot of taste yet. And also, you know, I feel like it could be bright purple and they wouldn't really care that much. And it's only going to be like a short little picture that they see in like one little scripture lesson. And it doesn't really matter. You know what? It doesn't look too bad now, actually. With all the browns, we kind of saved it. Okay. that guy's skin is a little bit too yellowish, maybe. He looks a little bit like East Asian, which is not a bad thing, but geographically, I think maybe not super accurate. Can we mix in some other browns? That one maybe is too similar. How about a nice darker brown? That's a real dark brown. Is that too much? Let's try it on his hand. No, let's try it on his neck. It's not really making that much of a difference either, but you know what? That's fine. We'll just embrace it. People have different skin colors, even amongst like a family, which I'm assuming this is. They seem like they're sitting down for some kind of family meal. Yeah, you know what? He's getting a little bit darker now. That's not too bad. All right, cool. What should we do now? There's like a teenage boy, I guess. He kind of has like an afro. I guess we could make that like a black color for his hair. Maybe we should use that dark brown actually. Yeah, okay, let's go with the dark brown. We can always add in some like black later on. I'm using kind of a curly whirly pattern, just doing like little spirals. I'd like to think that has some sort of artistic merit to give like texture to the hair, but maybe it doesn't. Maybe I should just be doing up and down strokes. But you know what? It doesn't really matter. Again, low expectations, low importance, and this is my world. I'm creating it the way that I want. I don't mind that texture, although I think that the color is not ideal. So let's add a little bit of black, and we'll just give him some very dark hair. Maybe he's more of a Mediterranean kind of look. The lighting is also not super great in the room where I'm currently doing this, so it's kind of tough to see because there is shadow on my hand. But you know what? That's not too bad. Okay, we've colored in his hair. He needs some skin color now. What color should his skin be? It's all kind of a crapshoot really with these browns because I don't know what the brown looks like before I use it. So let's just put some of this brown here. It's kind of an earthier looking color maybe, but you know what? That's fine. Because his skin is different from his grandfather's skin, but maybe it's like a mixed family or something, or just genetic variance in between generations and all of that. I think we're also overthinking it a little because, again, 8-year-olds. Okay, that's his face, colored in, admittedly a bit lightly, but not too bad. And let's color in his arms. Everybody needs colored in arms. Unless they don't have arms, which is okay too. Okay, he's got nice colored in arms. And then, I don't really know what he's holding. It's like, it has like heat lines coming off of it, or like steam, so it looks like it's some sort of freshly cooked food, but it kind of just looks like it's a sack on a plate. I'm not really sure what that's meant to be. I guess that's up to me to interpret. It's like the most generic kind of food possible. It kind of looks like a big mountain of mashed potatoes, but I don't really think that they would have mashed potatoes there. It could be food of like a meat variety, I guess, like a fish. Doesn't really look like a ham hock or something, which again I don't think they would have, but maybe it's just like a lump of meat. Maybe it's like rice or something. Maybe it's meant to be like lentils or rice or something. What's a safer color? Maybe we'll go with like a red, and it could have like spices and stuff in it, right? That kind of works. Again, that's the pink red, which we didn't really want to use. Let's put that away. Let's put that over here. We don't really want you pink red. I guess if it's meat, it can be more like raw or something. Rare, not raw. It's obviously cooked. It's got heat lines. That's not actually as red as I would have liked it. I want like a dark red, and I don't seem to have a dark red, so I'll just kind of have to make do. Here's another red, but that's very light red again. You know what? We could add some browns. We got plenty of browns. Let's add in some brown. Browns save everything, right? This is a very brown kind of place. I don't know exactly where it is. I'm guessing it's like Jerusalem. I don't know. There's no caption on it. There's no context. But again, it doesn't really matter. Hey, you know what? It kind of looks like steak now. I mean, not the shape, but the color. Because it's kind of brown, but it's got little pink bits. So it's like kind of rare. It's like medium rare, maybe. You know what? That actually doesn't look too bad. It could probably do with a bit more brown. But I'm kind of proud of that, which is a complete accident. A happy little accident, as Bob Ross would perhaps say. Okay. And then we've got like a little bowl underneath. What should we do with the bowl? Maybe we'll make it like orange, right? Could be like a terracotta kind of thing, maybe. Do they make bowls out of terracotta? They probably do. Maybe not. Maybe not in Jerusalem. Don't know a whole lot about ancient history. Not really my subject. I did take ancient history as an elective, but we did not cover Jerusalem. And I did not really enjoy ancient history as an elective, largely due to my teacher, but I think also just very focused on the details, the nitty gritty of it. And it's like, I don't really care. I don't really care about like, you know, graffiti in Pompeii and stuff. I kind of want to know more about like the broad strokes of things and like mythology and military and stuff like that. All right, what's this kid going to be wearing? He's got like a baggy t-shirt kind of looking thing. I mean, I'm assuming it's a robe, but again, I can only see like half of him. But like purple, right? Purple's nice. I like purple. It's one of my favorite colors. It's a little blue. It's a little more blue than I intended, but it's not bad. It's maybe like kind of a darker violet. I gotta be honest, I don't know a whole lot about colors. I don't really know the names of colors. I'm just kind of guessing that's what it is. But yeah, who knows? This is kind of nice. Just coloring in. Just kind of rambling. Stream of consciousness, whatever comes into my head. It's all nonsense. It's all gibberish, but it's kind of nice nonetheless. Ooh, just completely changed the angle of my shading. Alright, that's that kid. Done. Just gonna fill in his shirt a little bit more. Okay, good. Purple t-shirt is done. Then, what are we gonna do now? There's like an older man in front of him who has one of those, I don't know the proper term for them. It's like a head towel kind of thing, and then there's like a band around it, kind of keeping it wrapped around the head. It seems very sort of like Saudi Arabian. I think you tend to see a lot of the Saudis wearing them. What color should we go? Usually you see them in like a checkered kind of pattern, but I feel like that might be a little anachronistic, maybe. I don't really know. I don't know a whole lot about history and fashion, and the history of fashion, and the fashion of history. Red might be a bit garish. Let's say like a red headband. That might work. Yeah, that looks kind of nice. But then what's his actual like head cloth gonna be? What color? We've got a lot of blues in the picture already. Got a lot of browns in there. We could go like a pink, maybe. You know what? Let's mix it up a little bit. Historically, pink actually used to be quite a manly color, because I think it represented like blood and life force and stuff like that, which are obviously very masculine ideas. No woman has blood. But yeah, apparently it was not until World War II when Mr. Adolf Hitler used pink as a symbol for homosexuality that people started to switch around and say that pink was a girly color. So there you go. And given as I'm pretty sure this picture predates World War II, I guess he can feel really masculine wearing that pink headdress. Not that, you know, colors are inherently gendered, nor should they be. That's a pretty silly idea. Pretty outdated. But nevertheless, this guy is wearing a bright pink headband. Headdress, headscarf, headcloth. I don't know what you call it, but he looks pretty fabulous. He kind of looks like Stephanie from Lazy Town, but you know what? I think he's kind of rocking it. He also has a beard. I kind of want him to just have a white beard too, but I also don't want to just leave it completely blank. Maybe we'll go even lighter on the lead pencil. Saying that, he draws it in quite darkly. Okay. Whoops. You know what? Them's the breaks. That's just how it happens sometimes. And then what are we going to do for skin color? What about you? There's this... I mean, it looks very creamy on the side. It just looks like kind of untreated light wood, but it's got a brown lead to it. Let's see what that looks like. You know what? That's kind of a pleasant looking color. It's maybe like a little more reddish, but it kind of works. Unfortunately, when I used the lead pencil, it kind of spread onto his face a little bit. So I might need to make his face a bit darker to hide that. But nevertheless, this red, brownish red, it's actually kind of nice. I'm noticing there's a lot left in this picture to color, but that's all right. You know, it'll be a long audio, and people seem to like long audios. They're a pain to make, but people like them. Okay. Let's darken up the face a little bit. And is that really doing anything? Not super well. Actually, you know what? It is. It's looking pretty good. He's looking a little sad. But it's not all about me, right? Like, maybe that's the way he's drawn. I'm just coming in here trying to make the best of what I'm given with this pre-drawn picture of some family in a little brick house having some kind of dinner with an ambiguously shaped food and a very, very red jug of water, maybe wine, who knows. And there's a nice mixed race family. And a guy with a pink headdress. And he looks great. He looks great. Okay. What color should his shirt be? Do I want to go with like a yellow? A yellow could be nice. There's an interesting looking color, and I don't really know what it is. I guess it's kind of like a mustard. Do we like that? Is that... It's kind of like gold, but kind of like mustard as well. I don't know. We can give it a try, I guess. Yeah, that's kind of mustardy. It's kind of like olive khaki mustard, but you know what? It kind of works for him. I don't know that it really matches the bright pink so much, but maybe he likes, clashy kind of colors. Maybe he likes dressing boldly. He kind of looks like a Starfleet officer, actually, from like the rebooted film franchise of Star Trek. He looks like he's an officer wearing the kind of like yellowish outfit, yellowish brown, like Captain Kirk wears. I think that color was actually meant to be like engineering or something back in the day, and I think like red was meant to be more tactics, but I don't know. I'm not really a Star Trek guy, but I have seen 2 of the rebooted movies, I think. I watched the first one and I watched the one with Khan in it. Yeah, he kind of looks like a Starfleet officer with a pink headdress, but you know what? That's kind of cool. He's also eating something, and I don't know what it is, but I'm going to assume that it is bread. We need a brown for the bread, but the problem is that I don't remember which brown I used for his skin, and I don't want it to look like he's a cannibal just eating someone's skin. Does that work? It kind of looks like he's eating skin. What about this one? That's a very different brown. I think that's like the grandfather's flesh color. So it kind of looks like he's eating a bit of his grandfather, but it's different. It's a couple of different browns, and it kind of looks like he's just eating bread or something. So I think that's fine. Okay. And then I guess we should use that for the same thing, because over here it kind of looks like is this bread? Or maybe these are like fruits, actually. You know what? I guess that's up to me to decide what they are, because I'm the one coloring them in. I'm an interpreter of the picture. So I think that's fine, really, I think these little brown balls, whatever they are, I think they're fine. That needs to be in a bowl as well. What bowl should we have? Should we have another orange bowl? You know what? I instantly regret making that bowl orange. I don't really like that. Maybe we should make that more of a reddish clay. And the way that we do that, of course, is to throw in like 18 different pencils and then eventually just kind of decide that it's enough. We've mixed in a red and an orange, and then we're going to have like a brown as well, maybe. Doesn't really look that great, but it's good enough. Okay, sure. Why not? We got a lot of different like cups and pots and stuff. Should we have like blue as a pot? Pots can be blue, if Zelda has taught me anything. Where's a nice deeper kind of blue? Is that a good blue? You'll do fine. Let's color you in. Okay, we've got a nice little blue pot. It's not the best job that I've ever done coloring things. But again, 8-year-olds, one lesson, don't really care that much. It's just for fun. Okay, great. We got a blue pot. I didn't do a great job coloring that in. It's kind of wonky. It's kind of darker in some places, lighter in others. But you know what? Maybe the guy who made it was just not a great potter. Let's blame him. Or her. Mustn't be presumptuous. Women can be shitty potters too. What else have we got? We've got 2 women. I guess some green, maybe. Maybe green would be good. Let's go with like a darker green. This lady's like kneeling down. I think she's eating something, but it kind of looks like she's flossing, but in a very like solemn kind of way. Like she's humble and kind of like penitent or something about flossing. But I guess they probably didn't have anything like floss in those days. Maybe they used like plants or something to floss, but I imagine the dental hygiene was not great in Jerusalem times. Could be wrong. I could well be wrong. You know what? I thought this woman was wearing a headdress. Now it kind of looks like her hairdress is made of hair, but it does kind of look like it's... It looks like it's not hair, but it's made of hair, if that makes sense. I don't know. That's confusing. I don't really know what to do with that. You'll know it when you see the picture. Probably. Unless I'm just stark raving mad. I guess I'll just color her robes, and that is a bridge that I will have to cross later on. She's got nice green robes. They are pretty subdued green, kind of like a seafoam green, I'm gonna guess. Again, I don't know anything about colors. Don't know the names of the colors terribly well. But she has got a green robe, and I still don't really know what to do with the head. I'm gonna make an executive decision and turn it into a headscarf or a hood or something. Whatever it is, I'm just gonna elect to not have her showing any hair. Because it's easier for me, and she seems, very devout, very humble, very, very concerned with oral hygiene, which is great. I can respect someone like that. Kind of does seem like she was meant to have some kind of hair, but again, I am the interpreter, and I will do what I like. This is my domain, and all will bow to my whims. We need some skin colors, and I don't really remember which ones are which, but I'm just going to go with this one. I think that's the one. It's a bit like, it's a bit yellowish, but again, that's not the worst. It kind of matches the old man a little, and maybe they're like related, or maybe they're like married and they're from the same social class, the same racial group. Who knows? Maybe they like that kind of skin color, and that's why they were attracted to each other, and that's why they got married. Although we did say that this was a mixed race family. You know what? Let's darken her up a little bit. Not because we need to, but just because it's kind of the narrative that we're telling. Okay. That looks nice too. And it has a nice level of diversity in the skin colors. We still have another person. And we need shoes. This lady has some shoes. I feel like maybe she's more of a slipper kind of person. Maybe we'll give her some like blue slippers, maybe. Sure. How about this blue? That's kind of a nice looking blue. It's like maybe kind of a royal blue. I accidentally colored outside of the lines, which is typically seen as a no-no. But you know what? I don't think the kids will notice. Alright, she's got blue slippers. It doesn't actually look very good. It kind of looks a bit clashy. But you know what? It's fine. What is this lady going to be wearing? I kind of want like a plum color, like kind of a reddish purple. This sort of looks like it might be a reddish purple, but again, I don't really know until I try. It's much more pink than I thought it would be, unfortunately. But I guess that's not bad. I guess it's okay. It's kind of like a boysenberry color, if you know what boysenberries look like. I've never had boysenberries themselves, but I have had boysenberry ice cream, which is very nice, even though it's a little bit strong, a little bit tart for me. But I do enjoy boysenberry ice cream. They make a boysenberry drumstick that is very, very nice. I think boysenberries, they're like artificial. They were crossbred of like a couple of different types of berries, and they found it growing in some guy's farm. I think that guy's name was Boysen, or it was like Boysen Farms or something like that. You may never have had boysenberries, and this may seem like absolute gibberish. It kind of is. All right. It is a kind of purple. It is a kind of reddish purple, but it is more pink than I thought it would be. But you know what? It's not awful. What should her headscarf be? I kind of wish I had like a brown that I wasn't using for skin colors so much, because I think that would be nice. What about this one? How's this brown? It's not too bad. It's not exactly what I wanted from it, but you know what? Sometimes you just have to deal. Sometimes you just have to accept that things aren't going to be exactly the way that you want, and that it's okay. Yeah, it's not exactly what I want, but I can't really articulate exactly what it was that I wanted. It's just not this. But I'll deal with it, and it will look fine regardless. And ultimately, it's just the headscarf, head shawl, whatever thing, the sort of wrapping that she has. It doesn't seem like organized enough to be a burqa or anything like that. I think it's just kind of a shawl. It's just a shawl on a woman, you know, in a little picture that some 8-year-olds are going to see like 2 minutes and then forget about. So does that really matter? No. The answer is no, it doesn't. What do we want? Let's get some like black, I guess. Let's use a different black. I mean, I think that's a black, right? Yeah, sure. Let's get some black. Let's make her hair kind of black looking. That's fine. And then what's a good brown? I kind of just I'm constantly just like forgetting what the browns look like. That's fine, I guess. It kind of looks exactly like a shawl. Maybe we'll add some other things in. That's a bit dark, I think. Or maybe it's not. Oh wait, is that the really red one? It is! Fantastic. She could be a little red-faced, maybe. Maybe she's embarrassed because she's late. She's standing at the door. She's like, oh my god, I forgot that I was late. Sure. You know what? That's fine. That's fine. But we won't make her hands look kind of reddish because her hands aren't blushing. They're busy. They're busy holding a bowl of bread, probably. It kind of seems like she's holding bread. Again, I can make it whatever I want it to be. I am an artiste. I am the interpreter of this world. I could make it brown, but we already have a lot of browns. But is that bad? Let's make it a very dark brown, shall we? We'll say that it's like a little overcooked or something, maybe. That's why she's running late, because she accidentally burned the bread a little bit, and then she's mortified by that, but she showed up anyway. I don't really like the color of her headscarf in retrospect. You could add some like orange to it or something. We could add some like creamy pink to it, maybe. Is that going to look weird? Probably. I don't think that's really going to stand out that much, actually. Yeah, okay, never mind. Let's put some orange in it. And we'll see how it looks with some orange in it. Probably a little more orangey, I'm guessing. It's not really showing up that much. It's actually kind of turning a bit more orange. There we go. All right. That's not bad. Sure, that's fine. And now she's looking more colorful, and it kind of stands out from her face a little bit more. And that's kind of nice. She's got a bowl. What color should the bowl be? Maybe we'll make it like a yellowish kind of bowl. Ooh, that is very yellow. I was thinking more like a wicker kind of yellow, but that's like lemon yellow. Maybe we add some more of that like Starfleet yellowish brown. That doesn't look too bad. It does look kind of bad, but not that bad. All right. That's all the people done. Okay. Now we've got a table. What color should the table be? Probably a reddish brown, I guess, if we're going realism. But that's kind of boring. Maybe they painted their table. Maybe they made it a bit more interesting. But what color do we want then? Choice paralysis. That's what this is. You know what? Let's just get a nice dark brown. And we'll just start. Let's just do it. Let's just make a choice and then commit to it. Because again, it doesn't really matter. I don't think these 8-year-olds are really going to care that much about what this table looks like. They're probably not even going to notice that table. They may register it as a table, conceptually. It might match, the representation of table that they have in their brain. Although probably not, because it's just kind of a slab on the ground. It doesn't even have legs or anything. Which is fine. It just doesn't look like a regular table that most Western people would be familiar with. So maybe they will look at it. But then is that really the weirdest thing about it? If it's kind of a dark brown? Probably not. So it doesn't really matter that much, Personally, I don't think I would enjoy eating at a table where I had to kneel. I think that would be kind of uncomfortable. But who knows? Maybe that's super good for like digestion or something. I have never studied that sort of thing. I've never looked up different kinds of tables and how they impact on the eating experience. But I do think that I would not enjoy kneeling for an extended period of time. But, this family, they seem pretty comfy. They seem like they're enjoying themselves. They're all gathering around, eating communally, except for this one lady who came really late, but she burned her bread. And that could stress someone out, I understand that. I could sympathize with this lady that I just decided was like embarrassed and then gave her some blush in her cheeks. That poor lady. She's got a nice purple coat, though. I will acknowledge that. Oh boy, this table's a lot bigger than I thought. It requires a lot more coloring in. Oh boy. Something about me is that, particularly as a kid, I had low muscle tone in my fingers, which made it pretty tricky to hold a pencil for an extended period of time. Needed to get occupational therapy to strengthen my hands and help me learn how to grip a pencil and write properly and all that sort of thing. I'm left-handed as well, which is typically not the best. Perks of being left-handed: you get a lot of colors smudged on the underside of your hand, and you bump elbows with all the right-handed people that you're sitting next to. Fun times. And a lot of like utensils and stuff are not made for your left-handed hands. But yeah, so I struggled with holding pencils and writing and having muscle strength and all that kind of thing. I'm like better now, but it's still not terribly comfortable for me to write for an extended period of time, for example. So I tend to prefer writing on the computer when I need to write, which is not really that often anymore. Although now I'm doing assignments and stuff, I guess. But it's all digital, which is very nice. God, this is this is kind of a pain, actually, coloring in on this table. Oh boy. But it's almost done. And it's kind of looking nice, I guess. Sure. Just doing that sort of diagonally shading thing you see like cool artist people doing, although mine doesn't look that great. And also the shading pattern I used is not consistent. But you know what? Maybe that's just like the grain of the wood. If it's wood. I'm going to say it's wood. I'm going to say it's a dark wood. And again, 8-year-olds, they don't really care. Probably. I mean, maybe they do. Maybe they'll notice it. Maybe they'll judge the crap out of it. But I won't be there. And I won't really mind. I think even if an 8-year-old were like criticizing the hell out of me, I think I'd be pretty chill about that, particularly about a drawing. And I don't really value drawing that much. It's not a skill that I personally put a lot of thought into, or that has a big place in my sense of self-worth. Maybe if they criticize my audios or something, maybe I'd care more about that. But in general, I've become a lot better about being resistant to the negative effects of criticism, which is very important, you know. I struggled a lot with my critical voice for a while, good long while. And, initially making audios, getting nice feedback from people, it kind of helped to shut up my critical voice. But nowadays, I don't really need to. I don't really rely on positive feedback like that. It's kind of an unhealthy dependence on it before, but now I'm more resilient, and my sense of self-worth, my sense of self is a lot more robust, which is really nice, really refreshing. And I got that way by doing things in line with my values, by helping people, by making the kinds of things that I cared about and that I thought were valuable and all of that. And yeah, I espouse that kind of lifestyle now. I try and encourage people to find their values and live their life in accordance with them, so that they can find that sense of fulfillment and not be at the mercy of their negative thoughts, their inner critic, as it were. Okay, we've done the table, finally. It doesn't look fantastic, but it looks good enough. Now, what are we going to do here? We've got some like cups. What about like a teal kind of aqua cyan? I don't know what that color is, but it's kind of a light greenish blue. We'll do that. We'll get these cups. We'll say these cups were like imported from China, maybe, or like India or something. Turquoise, is that the color? Maybe it's a turquoise. I don't really know. Again, not great with colors. They're a little bit brown because some of the brown seeped in, but you know what? I don't think the kids will mind that much. And that's just kind of what happens sometimes. You color things in. Alright, this old guy's holding like a circular thing. I don't know what it is. I'm going to say it's an orange. Did they have oranges in Jerusalem? If this is in Jerusalem, I don't know. I'm going to guess they probably didn't have oranges, but maybe they did. Maybe this isn't an orange. Maybe it's some other kind of fruit. In any case, he's got one. He's got an orange-ish fruit. I don't really have the colors that I want, unfortunately. What about... I want to use a red, but all those reds are like pretty pink, and I don't really want to use pinkish red. We've got greens, but I don't really think that greens that appropriate for these bowls. I kind of want to finish the table. We've got like olive green. Is that good? Sure, let's go with like an olive green plate. Oh, that doesn't really show up that well against the table, but that's fine. It's 8-year-olds. Maybe that can be a new mantra. If you're ever getting hung up on the details, just tell yourself it's only for 8-year-olds. Of course, it's not always for 8-year-olds, but nevertheless, I think that reminding yourself that the standards of others aren't really that important necessarily, and that it's more about what you want and what makes you happy. And if you want an olive green dish, go nuts. Do it. But it doesn't look that great. I don't really love the way that it looks, but that's fine. We've got one more. It's like a little tray with a dish in it. Kind of want to use some more yellows, but I don't really like these yellows that much. Let's do it anyway. Let's use this yellow. It kind of looks alright. It's not too bad. Yeah, sure. It doesn't look like gold, but maybe it's just kind of, I don't know, some kind of like yellow stained clay, maybe. Sure. And then what's the bowl going to be made of? Let's go with like a red, I guess. Maybe we'll go with like a purple. Sure. Why not? Fine. It doesn't really make much sense, but it's fine. Ooh, that looks pretty garish actually. We could put some of this in. It's kind of reddish, pinkish brown. Does that look okay? It doesn't look fantastic. It kind of looks like really, really, really thick lipstick on some lips, which is a little bit weird, but it's fine. Whatever, it's fine. Okay. We've got like a sack and a few bedrolls and I like a box maybe. I don't know. I guess we'll just use like a couple of different browns here. Sure. Okay. There's like a stick. I don't know what the stick is, but I'm going to color it brown because sticks are typically brown. Sure. And then let's go with like a lighter brown, and that can be like the sack, I guess. Sure. It's what's in this sack? I guess maybe it's like some fruits and vegetables, maybe. Sure. It's kind of bulging. It's kind of lumpy looking. Maybe they're farmers. That can be the headcanon for this picture. They're farmers with a sack full of fruits and vegetables that they're not eating because they need to sell, or maybe some stuff stored away for the future. Can't all be eaten just tonight in this dinner. I'm guessing it's dinner. Maybe it's not. Sure. We've got a nice bag full of miscellaneous crops, and then we've got like some bedrolls, I guess. Maybe that's where they sleep. You'd think so, right? That makes sense. That makes a certain kind of sense that they would sleep on the bedrolls. Seems wasteful not to sleep on bedrolls if you have them. And they do, as evidenced by the fact that I'm coloring it in right now. Oh boy. This is a lot darker than I thought it was going to be, but you know what, that's fine. It's, oh, it's the same color as the table. Whoops, okay. I guess that's not the worst thing in the world, but maybe let's mix it up. Let's get some different browns in there. Oh, that's quite a different brown. Okay, well, yeah, maybe it's okay. This is going okay. It's not going to be the best picture in the world, but it was never going to be. It was not intended to be. It was not required to be. It's fine. It's fine just to be an average, 10-year-old's coloring book kind of looking thing, I guess. It doesn't look fantastic, but my art skills are pretty low. And you know what? I accept that about myself. I don't need to be fantastic at visual art. And it's kind of fun just to make it look a bit crappy. That's kind of the whole appeal of doing this, I think, is that it doesn't need to be good. And thus you can just kind of enjoy the experience and not freak out about it. Not make it into some big deal. I'm kind of enjoying this, It's not necessarily the way I'd like to unwind typically. I don't know if coloring is really my jam in the big scheme of things, but it's nice for a change at least, certainly. And it helps my mum, which is nice. Okay, that is decent enough, I guess. There's like a strip on it, and I don't know what that's really made of. Maybe it's like a wrapping or something. Maybe we'll make it like I was gonna say a red, but the reds aren't like super nice looking reds. There's like a pinkish red. I guess that'll do. It's not really what I imagined it looking like, but it's my imagination is flexible enough, and it doesn't really matter. Sure. Kind of looks like one of those like Swiss rolls, those desserts, and it's got like a strawberry filling in the middle or something. I don't know. We've got like a smaller looking one. What are you gonna be? A different kind of brown, maybe? Is that? Oh, that's more of a reddy kind of brown. You know what? That's kind of nice though. That's not bad. I mean, it looks kind of like leathery, maybe. Sure. Let's go with that. Okay. We've almost done it, except there's an entire damn wall that we have to do. Maybe we'll just go really light with that. We'll just do some really rough shading, and we won't worry about the fine details, because again, 8-year-olds, and this is a pretty long audio. I'm not really looking forward to uploading this, but hopefully people will enjoy it. What do we want the little like ribbony thing to be? That is a good question. Let's go with a green. Green's nice. Green is apparently my favorite color, according to my nephew, which I don't think is true. And I don't know where he got the impression from, but he has decided that green is my favorite color. Alright, we've got like a little suitcasey looking thing. I don't really know what that is, but let's just color that in with another brown. Sure, that'll do. Yeah, okay. And then we can consider what this like little stripy looking thing is. I guess it's like a pillow or something. Maybe there we can use some of the reds that we haven't really been using. like purple and red, maybe. Let's go for like a more bluish purple, shall we? That looks kind of nice. Oh, that's a lot more blue than I thought it would be. It's kind of purple. It's like blurple. But it's Do we want like a yellow instead of a red, maybe? Yellow and blue? It's a nice combo. Sure. Yeah, that looks kind of nice, I guess. It's a little messy, but it's fine. Okay, we've got the wall. I don't really want to do the wall, but I guess we will. It's got some detail on it. Okay, let's make it orange, I guess. Should we do the like fancy sideways rubbing kind of sketch? Sure. Oh, this is gonna take a little while. It's fine. Maybe we'll just like fade it into whiteness rather than having to do the entire background in orange. We'll just give the illusion, the implication of orange for like a sort of mud brick house, I guess. It does look very much like a lazy person used a pencil, admittedly. There is not a lot of art in this. My technique leaves much to be desired, but it's fine. You know, you get what you pay for, and I'm not being paid anything. Except in love, I guess, maybe. But, you know what, that looks fine. Oh, there's a window. Do we have to have something outside in the window? I mean, nothing's drawn. Maybe just blue sky. But then maybe it should be black sky, because maybe it's like nighttime. But then shouldn't they have like a light source? These are big questions for an 8-year-old scripture picture. You know what? We'll just make it daytime. It can be like breakfast or lunch or something, maybe. Yeah, it's looking acceptable, I guess. And then we'll just kind of have like a light shading on this wall that will just fade into nothingness. It will give the impression of walls without having to slavishly color them all. Sure, it doesn't look fantastic. I will be the first to admit. But it also doesn't look terrible. And that's good enough. Sure. Okay. And then we've got a little bit of like a window frame. I'll just like color in a little bit and fill in some of these gaps between people's arms and stuff. Yeah, personally I would put like a rug or something in here to give it like a little bit of color, but I'm not going to draw a rug because I feel like that, you know, if I draw something with colored pencils, it's going to stick out like a sore thumb. Sore thumbs are known to stick out. Okay, and then let's get like a nice sort of sky blue. Sure. Okay. We'll just quickly do a little bit outside, just the implication of a sky, without putting a lot of detail in there. And I guess technically there should probably be something other than sky outside, unless they're like on a mountain. Because you probably would see, you know, land and stuff, but it doesn't matter. That's fine. That's okay. I think that is acceptable. Maybe we need some orange up on the roof, actually, the ceiling, just for the implication of ceiling. That's a little darker than I intended. Okay, there we go. That's good enough, right? Sure. Let's go with that. Okay. And we're done. I think that's... do we need the floor? No, we don't need the floor. It's fine. It's fine without a floor. That'll detract from things. Maybe. Should we have a floor? No. I'm not going to be bothered to do that. Okay, great. It's done. It's finished. I think. It does kind of look like it needs a floor. Should we? Yeah, okay, fine. I'll just shade a little bit the implication of a floor. Sure. Okay, and then a little bit along here too. We're almost done. Almost done. Okay. Wow, I've really worn out this pencil. Oh boy. Okay. I think we're done. You know what? That doesn't look too bad. Actually, I think we need a little bit more over here. Okay. A little bit more orange floor. Okay. Now we're done. I mean, look, compared to some of my artist friends, who are many of them professional or semi-professional artists, this looks like garbage. And in fact, probably most 12-year-old kids could draw better than this. But for me, someone who is not very good at coloring in, I think it looks nice. And it was made with love to support my mum. And it represents diverse families. It is about the representation of other cultures. Exactly which culture, I don't know. Again, I think it's like Jerusalem-ish geography, but I could be wrong. But sure. But nevertheless, it's a nice little picture. There's some nice, pretty coloring, different kind of outfits than you usually see. Just a nice family gathering, and it took us like an hour and a quarter maybe to do, which is longer than I thought it would take, but it was still kind of nice. And it's done. And hopefully that will help my mum. Okay. I'm going to take a picture of this and I'll upload it. Probably like put it on Tumblr maybe, or I don't know. I'll host it somewhere and you can look at it and enjoy my pretty picture. And maybe you can do some coloring of your own someday and enjoy that too. Because this was nice. This was therapeutic, I think. It's kind of nice to create something and then be able to look at it and go, yeah, I made that. Thanks for hanging out with me, listening to me while I do this. And I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you later on, my little rain clouds. Bye-bye.